Hey, out there in the void, back once more, and well, I figured I'm gonna just have to keep plugging my way through this if I'm ever gonna get through this whole collection. 8 films, remember? And well, pacing myself is one thing, but yeah, I have to keep diving into this thing. Yeah, well, I intend that fun. But it takes a little bit to an urge to sit down and watch what you know is going to be a bad shark movie. But here we go. So, what was today's? Malibu Shark Attack. That's a generic title if there ever was one. I think this one is circa 2009, if I recollect. Of course, it's not really telling me on here conveniently, but I believe it was circa 2009. And, so what's this one's shtick? Well, I guess it is still pretty much as nearly as generic as it sounds. Yes, actually, confirming 2009. There we go. But this one, well, an undersea earthquake releases a bunch of prehistoric goblin sharks, which the earthquake causes a tsunami to make a big tidal wave, and now there's a bunch of sharks swarming over. Kind of like a lamer version of Sharknado without the batshit insanity. So, yeah, there's not really much to talk about in this one. That is pretty much the mainstay of the plot, but this one does try to have something. So mostly we're focused on a group of lifeguards at the beach, and why they're someone who's doing community service for shoplifting. About 4 lifeguards, and there's also nearby a team of people doing construction on a building for business reasons. Generic, I don't know if they ever really say they're doing important construction. And one of the lifeguards doesn't like the main guy over there, because he used to be dating because lifeguard 1 used to be dating lady lifeguard, but now she's dating business construction man. And so they kind of throw shade back and forth. And then they have to all band together when tidal wave full of goblin sharks. Okay. First off, yes, this is more CG. And yep, this is the worst one yet in that regard. The swarm of goblin sharks, because there's multiple ones, it's bad, look worse than the toxic shark, but this movie lacks that movie's utter insanity. Now, something I found kind of fascinating on this was how much they know and don't know simultaneously about goblin sharks. Goblin sharks are a real kind of shark. They're the ones with the big, weird, funky nose and the low-slung jaw. Now, goblin sharks are a real shark. They exist. But this movie gets a lot of facts right. Tells you that they're related to great whites. That is true. I was looking up goblin shark trivia over this movie just because I was sure this movie was making stuff up. No. I don't know if goblin sharks are actually blind like they were in this, but they have like some sort of electro sense. That's also true. Okay. And they're normally found in the deepest reaches. Okay. So the movie knows its stuff. It's down with the goblin shark facts, and that they're pretty much living fossils. The part they get wrong is that this one keeps saying that the goblin sharks are extinct. They are not extinct. Goblin sharks do exist today. And people know they exist today. We filmed them. Occasionally they pop up, but not often. They are a rare shark. But the one lady who identifies them keeps saying they're extinct, and it's a miracle that they're here, and she keeps wanting to preserve them. and that gets her killed. So either she was mistaken, or this movie got a fact seriously wrong. Okay, so things this movie did good, and things this movie did not do good. Things this movie did good. It wasn't as boring as Shark in Venice. That's really the best I can say. It didn't really do anything good. Did plenty bad. Let's talk about that. That'll give me actually something to say. So, I always had the CG sharks look worse than Toxic Shark. Well, they keep reusing some of the shark footage, particularly when they're trying to chew their way through things. Well, first off, let's go to the gore effects. There's a few scenes of CG blood. At least once where I'm pretty sure they just forgot to put in the CG blood, so it just gets pulled under and there's nothing. The gore effects look like rubber, and the fake blood looks terrible. I'm pretty sure they're just hanging on to someone's rubbery hand at one point. So there's that. Oh, while I was on... train of thought derailed. While I was on how real Goblin Sharks were, there was actually an incident in, I think, Thailand, where, well, I mentioned this movie, there was an underwater earthquake which caused a bunch of Goblin Sharks. That actually happened in Thailand about 2003. So, this movie's almost based around an actual event, and they're still saying they were extinct. That happened 6 years before this movie. Okay, back on my tangent about things that aren't working. Well, where's the acting? No. There's the shoehorned in romance between lifeguard and shoplifting community service lady, which could work if she wasn't utterly obnoxious. Then there's the problem of that love triangle I mentioned. Oh boy. First off, there's guy A, who when he at one point just makes an excuse to go harass guy B with some macho posturing, and he's obnoxious. So, he's the first one you see, and I initially did not like him at all. That did not change. He got tolerable as the movie went on. But his reasons for me disliking him initially never went away. He just went over to harass the construction guy, finding a petty reason to do it, just because he was dating his ex. So, he's already on my shit list. Then you get to guy B. He didn't seem so bad at first, but the fact that he's putting all of his construction stuff and endangering his crew made him a little bit, took him down a notch. I mean, technically he did try to get his crew to go home. He was going to stay there with the impending tsunami because his whole life is put into this construction-y construct. So, there's that, but he keeps deliberately rubbing me the wrong way as he keeps antagonizing the other guy. Which, sure, the other guy's acting like a prat, fine, but it wasn't enjoyable to watch. And you got the lady in between these two, which keeps telling the other guy, leave him alone, no, I'm with him now, stop it, stop being a dick. But then once she gets trapped with him and everything's going down, she's clinging back to guy one, who she had already broken up with. Which I get under the stressful circumstances a bit, but the movie seems to almost be trying to shoehorn these two back together when he's done nothing to endear you for why she should. Other than he's getting her through this. But he's also getting everyone else through it too, so he's almost a main character, which is kind of the problem. these people are... The more tolerable people died quick. There's one lifeguard I was there, the one that was with the shoehorn romance with the community service lady. He was okay. And everyone else that I kind of started to dig on, they got eaten pretty quick. And to spoil the hell out of this movie, well, all three of the love triangle actually survived, which was a bit of a surprise. I was sure they were going to have businessy guy get eaten and her just go back with the first asshole. But no. It actually kind of leaves it sort of unresolved. Now, at first, I thought it was actually going to be unusually progressive because it doesn't look like she's going to make a decision. Just says, oh, you two just going to have to learn to share. Like, they throwing a poly reference here? Before she quickly undercuts by just shrugging and saying, she'll flip a coin. That's pretty much right where it ends, so it doesn't even resolve that. Honey, you don't need either of them. They're not worth it. Okay, so touched on the bad gore, the bad acting, the bad CG, and the by-the-book run-of-the-mill plot. Yep, that's Malibu Shark Attack. It's one of the most unoriginal named ones on here, but that's saying most of these are so generically titled that Malibu Shark Attack isn't even the most generically titled one on here now. Oh boy. I've got 5 more on here. The next one I actually have a little bit of hope for, because it has my boy Jeffrey Combs in it. I do like Jeffrey Combs. Dr. West from Reanimator. I would like to see him as he turns his son into a half man, half shark. Okay, I'm down for that. Not gonna do that one next, but I mean it's the next one on this collection I'll watch. But I have to pace myself on these ones. These are bad. So you have to watch something else. Maybe I'll probably take another crapshoot movie. Oh right, MacGuffins. Yeah, it's one MacGuffin. Anyone surprised? I'm not surprised. If you're surprised, you haven't been watching my show very long. Okay, well, all on this one. See you guys in a few days.